So yeah, this started with Tom McHugh, um, Tom McHugh and Bill Matthews. So Tom McHugh was in the English department at Washington College. He went to Vassar. He finished his career at Vassar. So I think he was there for 20 years. Then came back to Kent County. He was originally from Philadelphia, and bought a place out in Rock Hall, and then started playing music with a guy who went to Washington College, Bill Matthews, and they formed a little group they called the Banjo Man and Bill, and they played, different, you know, everything from ragtime to blues, and Tom and I were at a pre-wedding party and talking, and I told him I spent a lot of time on the boats for Echo Hill Outdoor School. We'd be doing overnight trips, and we would read from Gilbert Byron's Washington College, turn of the century piece called The Lord's Oysters, really a novel for children. But it takes place here in Chestertown, and all the characters were modeled after real life people. And we spent a lot of time reading that, because being on the river for 5 days on the boat was kind of like we were living 80 years ago or something. For the kids to feel like that, it was really cool. And so I told him we'd read out loud, and that I'd read a lot of Byron's poems and some other poems. And he asked me, like what? And I recited one. And then like a week later, he called me up and he said, I think we should try to put a show together where I'll do Bay music and you do readings in between. And we did it for 29 years. And we probably did a dozen shows a year. Sue Matthews joined us for some. And Tom Anthony, the bass player, became a part of our group. And we did everything from, we did a show one time in a bar in Tillman Island for Buddy Harrison that had 3 people in it, in the bar, and 2 of them sat with their backs to us the entire time. We still did the whole show. And we did another show one time for a black tie audience at the Academy of Music in Philadelphia. So there's a wide spectrum and kind of everything in between. And we did them for college students I'd worked with at Echo Hill Outdoor School, and high school students. And in 1996, we made a recording, and then one thing kind of led to another. Let's see, in the pandemic, I wrote a grant to kind of revitalize our pier and create some signage about our historic boats, their role in the history of the bay, and also some people. Actually, there's 2 poems that are on the signs. It's the only place in the county, I think, that they're poems that are on display that you can read. One's Gilbert Byron's, the other's Meredith Hathaway's. And Dennis Forney wrote a piece on Gilbert Byron that's down there. Stanley Van Zandt, the boat builder. Dennis wrote that piece. So kind of an extension of that was for us to, do a new Chesapeake Scene show after Tom passed away. I put together a group, and I wrote a grant to do 8 concerts in different parts of the county for adults that are from here that have never gotten to hear that compilation of music and poetry. And so we did it in different parts of the county, and I had a different Kent County guest artists join us as we went along the way. So Sue and Meredith and the Ortizes and Annie Richards and others, and Karen Somerville. And so when we were done, some people were talking about, if you ever do a recording of that, I want to know about it. So I wrote another grant with the Hedgelon Foundation, and we had to get matching money for it. So generous Andy and Leslie Price helped us, and Tom McHugh's daughters and his first wife Ann helped with that. And we went to work in Benji Price's recording studio in the metropolis of Pomona, and recorded this. and then we remastered the original CD because nobody has a CD player anymore. So it's all on there. It's all accessible to everyone. Teachers that come to visit Echo Hill Outdoor School, their students, anybody from anywhere can access it through pretty much any digital platform just by searching Chesapeake Scenes into the platform, and it'll come up. And it's a pretty good archive. You know, it tells a lot about the inner feelings of the waterman, to the waterman's wife, to just stories of the landscape. There was a poet in the 30s, a guy named Joel Barber. He originally was published in the Queen Anne's Record Observer. He was from New England, but he spent a lot of time on the Delmarva, and he wrote a lot about the landscape and the people. So there's a lot of Joel Barber in there too. It's really different stuff. He gives some perspective that is hard to find anywhere else. So I'm really grateful that he wrote some of that.